Hope you've all had I mean, it's been quite a tough worldwide week, but hope everyone's got through it and you're now kind of coming out ready for a good weekend. Here in Chile, the sun is shining, the volcano is snow-capped and looking good. And after we've done the session, we're heading to down to the river where it feels. So I'm looking forward to stand-up paddleboarding and some biking. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this weekend. Hi to everyone watching, especially regular watchers who are very loyal. Thank you. Just tell us, you guys. No one has. Is that right? Okay, so just as we are really in rural Chile, I can't tell you how rural it is. Sometimes the internet is not. It's literally because it takes us 20 minutes to the nearest town. So I'm driving, so just bear with us with the internet signal. So today's session is, now I know this title is going to make everyone so excited. The title, are you ready? Industry, Innovation and Infrastructure. I know, exciting times. But I'm going to be focusing more on, I tried to think what I could get excited about in this goal, and to be honest, industry and infrastructure is not what really gets me fired up. So I'm going to go for more the innovation one, which is creativity. So I'll just show you my idea for today's session. If you haven't done these sessions before, they're basically geared towards educators and parents or anyone that's working with the next generation. So for kids, we're trying to inspire them to be active and also activist towards the global goals, which, if you are unaware, there are 17 global goals, and it's kind of targets for everyone. That means everyone to work towards before 2030, so that we're all kind of united and trying to achieve the same thing in order to make the planet better. So we are up to today's goal number 9. So I'd suggest if you haven't seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you watch the repeats. That is your Friday night sorted. What more could anyone want than watching 8 episodes of me talking about global goals? Luckily for you, there are other people doing sessions as well. So very, very talented colleagues on the Global Goals World Cup site. Clara does a really good to-do list where she talks specifically about the global goals. Jackie does kind of elite football, dancing with the ball, five-a-side. Dee does African dancing and water bottle workout. And then Ella and Babette, they're pro footballers, so you get an insight into their lives. Amina does lots of very amazing talks about politics and sport and sociology and neuroscience. She's so smart. So lots to do. The whole weekend can be spent on this website. Anyway, let's crack on. So we're going to start. I follow the high five method. The reason I do that is otherwise I go off on tangents. So it's better for my brain, better for you, better for me, better for kids as well. They like it. So we start with a fun warm-up. Then we go, so you can get your hand, if you want to copy it, just draw around your hand. First thing, go fun warm-up. Then individual game, because so many kids are still in lockdown. Chilean kids are not really outside that much, and they're not at school, so all lessons online on their own. Group game, if you are lucky enough to have multiple kids, or maybe, I know in the UK they've relaxed a bit the lockdown, so you can now meet with 6 people at a distance outside. So if you are able to do socially distanced sport, there you go, group game. Physical challenge enables us to unite and compete against the world. If you watched Wednesday's session, we did the 8-space ladder challenge, and we had competitors from Estonia, England, USA, Denmark, and Chile were triumphant. There we go, repping the Chileans. Then action for the goal. I haven't filled that in yet because I'm hoping throughout the session we'll kind of think of ideas together. It's supposed to be a bit more of a forum, so on the comments section you can type in, and Gustavo, my husband, is filming it, and he is able to see your comments. I can't, but he can tell me if anyone writes anything that we should talk about, or suggestions, or tells us that the music's too high, for example. So thanks for commenting, it makes it more fun, so I don't feel like I'm doing this on my own. right, let's start with the warm-up and then we'll go to the other things. So as I said, so of the three, industry, innovation and infrastructure, I've decided to focus mainly on innovation. So to innovate is to make a new or original idea using creativity. Luckily for you, the creative side of my brain is a lot better than the logical side. So I'll be your creative cat for today, and we're going to basically apply creativity and innovation to all 5 of the fingers, the thumb. So what you're going to do with kids is the warm-up, in today's session, instead of having a predetermined warm-up, you're going to get the kids using your guided discovery learning, which we've talked about many times. You're going to get the answers from them. So I'm now going to treat you guys like kids. Sorry. Okay, so ready? So right, guys. For our warm up today, it's my kid voice. What do you think we need to do? Then the kids are going to hopefully say, "Oh, we need to get our heart rates faster to pump more blood, so that we can move more easily." Brilliant. Okay, so how are we going to do that? They're going to hopefully say moving. So okay, right, we're going to include moving. Now, what sport are we warming up for? Football, in this case. Okay, so we want to include a football and movement patterns that are related to football. Brilliant. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a warm-up, imagining that I've got like 6 kids here helping me, which I wish I did, but they're not here. Okay, let's go. I am lucky because we have a lot of space in this cabin. I also have about 5 different types of ball and a stand-up paddleboard in this cabin. Excellent day. Okay, so the warm-up I'm going to use, what I do with kids is just let them be free and choose what they want to do. Normally they love the cones because they're all colourful, so cones go everywhere. If you've ever worked with kids and you tell them to mark out the pitch, you're going to see that they do this. And that is because their spatial awareness isn't fully developed. So, whereas you can easily space out the cones, the kids haven't developed their spatial awareness, so in their mind, the pitch needs to be measured out like this. It's very funny, all kids across the whole world mark out pitches that close. So we're going to put some cones around the room, because when kids first come to the session, often you want a bit of a wow factor. If they see nothing, then they're sometimes a bit disappointed. If they see a lot of colourful things, they get very excited, which is always nice. Okay, so we're going to give them a bit of wow factor. Colourful cones. Okay, and I don't know if you've played this game. So good, I love this game. I'm going to use this for the warm-up. So in Cranium, it's so good because it's like a team game, but there's 4 areas that you can work together in, so you just choose the person in your team that wants to do it. So for example, here is my zone. This is Creative Cat. So in terms of innovation, creativity is the bliss blue one. This one is Data Head, so it's like logical thought. I'm not good at that. Star Performer, I'm also not good at this one. It's like being confident to sing and stuff, dancing, very bad. And this is like the word worm, so if you're good at letters. So it's quite good for kids to see that everyone is good at different things. So we're going to use this for our warm-up. So in here, got handy things like a sound timer and a dice. And Play-Doh. Who doesn't love Play-Doh? Okay. Right, so I'm going to need the help of our wonderful cameraman / participant. So Goose, your job is to roll the dice, so hopefully people can see. Don't know how you're going to do that. Okay. So you need your dice. Searching for the actual ball, which I think is in the car. Brilliant. Okay, so if you find that you've left your football in the car, panic ye not. You can use your little balls, okay? I might send the cameraman at some point to get the ball. Okay, so what you're going to do for this warm-up, so remember we're working on innovation. Okay, so Goose is going to roll the dice, okay, and whatever colour it lands on, I've got to find that colour in my maze of colourful cones, and I've got to do some kind of dynamic warm-up on that colour cone, but for this purpose of an innovative warm-up, we're going to let the kids, choose. Okay, let's go.
Blue.
Azul! Okay, so I'm going to find that, and I'm going to jump over the blue ones. Okay, just keep rolling whenever you want.
Blue again.
Great. Okay, so now we're going to go for hopping. Let the kids be free and choose, because then they're if they're thinking, they're going to be using their cognitions. And if you're a football manager, you want players that can think. You need your players to think. I don't know how many people I need to tell this to, but if your players cannot think for themselves, you will not win the World Cup. Sorry, it's a revelation. If your players don't think, you will not win.
It's a red.
Okay. I'm just using the rug as well.
Yellow.
Apologies for anyone colourblind watching this, a bit lost.
Green.
Please, can you teach people some Espanol?
Verde. Rojo.
So get the kids doing cool stuff, they will find it more fun and they get a full body workout.
Amarillo.
So if you're a language teacher, my friend Nikki, hi Nikki, is a Spanish teacher in the US of A, and she teaches Spanish to middle school kids, and this is a warm-up you could use to teach languages, because you just basically teach them the colours, but they're moving and it's more fun than just sitting there going amarillo, azul, rojo, okay? Yeah, seguimos.
Azul. Verde.
Is my mum watching? She said she would watch.
Rojo.
Dynamic stretching of the quadricep and the gluteals. Yeah.
Verde.
Want to try some Deutsch? French. Le français.
Yellow.
Core stability here.
Blau.
Das ist sehr gut, Goose. Goose and I lived in Germany for nearly a year, and let's say German is not our favourite language. No offence to all Germans watching, but it's hard. It's really hard. Okay, last minute, Goose. Colours.
Red.
What happened to the dice?
I'm pulling it in my
Okay.
hand.
Rot. Yeah, rot.
Rojo. Azul.
See, Spanish is so nice, much nicer. No offence to all our German friends.
Gelb.
Okay, and now I'm going to do some football movements so that we're progressing to more match specific. If you're a football manager, so watch out for the movements I'm going to do now, because they're going to be specific to the movements in the game, therefore. Okay, now I'm now on selfie mode. I have no idea if this is on my face or my nose or my eyes. Going to rescue the ball from the car. Yesterday we had our nieces and nephews come visit, so hence the ball being in the car. Okay, so last minute of this. Hope you're nice and warmed up. Maybe if there's anyone watching who speaks other languages, you could just educate us a bit with some words for colours, like in Estonian or Danish, would be cool. Okay, so I'm going to do the last one. So it's going to be, let's do a bit of Italiano. Azzurro, I can't remember, Red. Yes, we have the wall. There's the thing. I actually can't remember red in Italian. Oh, rosso. Pesto rosso. Mamma mia. Okay, now we're moving on to the individual game. So as I said, we're talking about Global Goal 9 today, which is innovation, infrastructure and industry. As I said, I wasn't massively inspired by industry, so we're going for innovation. So we've done the warm-up. So what I can do is fill in this and draw some pictures with the one we did today, without innovation. Individual game and group game. So we're going to use the same setup. You see our colourful rainbow cones. Just tell me what it says.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Ellen. Okay, Ellen's sent us some Estonian. So we got Punain, Sinain, Rochelin and Kulain. Thank you, Ellen. I'm going to be fluent in Estonian by the end of this. Okay, so the individual game for the kids is going to be, so it's got to be, we've got to make sure it's aligned with this. As much as I just like to play fun games for the next 20 minutes, I'm going to try to align it and focus on industry, innovation and infrastructure. So my objective for this session is to help kids to be innovators. So I've noticed in the last few years, so I've been coaching for 15 years now, maybe 16 if you count when I was really young, and I've noticed in the recent years, creativity of kids has gone some really far down, and that's not just in England, it's across the world. So New Zealand, England, Wales, now in Chile. We ran summer camps this summer, and I noticed a massive lack of creativity and a lack of independence in the kids, which was quite shocking actually, because I probably noticed it more here than England. So the kids were just completely, most of them unaware of how to entertain themselves, so they would just be relying on us to give them games all the time. So in this session, I want to help you to empower your kids and inspire them to be able to entertain themselves, because they're going to have a lot of time in 18 years of being a kid, or I mean, I'm 30, I'm still a kid. 30 years of being a kid, you're going to have a lot of time on your own, especially with COVID. So it's good to be able to entertain yourself with fun stuff. So that's what we're going to try and help the kids. And that will help their mental health and physical health as well. So let's do a game which is going to be related to industry, innovation, infrastructure. So we're going to challenge the kids to, using the rainbow cones, they're going to try and like build a city or a town. And the kids love this because they get to actually innovate. So we have a giant Jenga in Brave Park where we run the summer camps, and kids do not use it for Jenga. I'd say 90% of the Jenga blocks are used to make houses and towns. It's very cute, but Jenga is very rarely played because the kids are scared of it falling down and they don't like losing. So what they use it is to make cities, like if you know the game Minecraft, a lot of kids will play Minecraft but in non-competitive mode. That is the actual thing. So they are just literally building cities with blocks online. So yeah, so we're going to do that now. Okay, so what the game is you're going to say, okay guys, you've got 10 seconds to build the best city you can using the rainbow cones and anything you can find. Okay, maybe 20 seconds. This is also what you're going to be doing at home. I want to see creativity going on, forks, knives, not knives, forks, spoons, yoga mats, cushions. I want to see the best fortress or city that you can make, and we're going to extend it to 1 minute. And please, if you can, take a photo of your fort, like cushions, sofas, sheets, and please post it on this because that would be very funny. Okay, ready, steady, go. So I'm going to make the best fortress I can. Luckily I've got a stand-up paddleboard. Okay, so we've got our stand-up paddleboard, the perfect fortress. Okay, now I'm a bit of an artiste, so I like the colours to look pretty. time is ticking, you've got 20 more seconds. Also, when you work with kids, pretend you have a watch. I always pretend the time, like 10 seconds. I very rarely have a watch. Talking of innovation, look what Goose made me. It is my hedgehog of crayons. Okay, brilliant. The time is up. Ta-da. Okay, so now, if I was with kids, I would say, please show me your fortress and your innovative city. And then the kids, wow, half an hour later, they will have finished explaining their city. So they've got really good imagination and innovation. So I'll explain to you my fortress. So here we've got the big entrance, the roundabout, safety first, roundabouts instead of traffic lights. No one likes a traffic light waiting. We've got a roundabout here, which we can do with the football. So here's the roundabout. Okay. Then here's the main entrance. Under the stand-up paddleboard is the main fortress. Okay. Here we've got the outer entrance. Okay. I've just broken the rule. Okay. Here is the innovation zone for creativity. Here you'll see a giant purple swimming pool. Okay. Why are swimming pools not purple actually? Okay. So you can really let the kids' imagination run wild. You can tell I would really enjoy this session. It's a nightmare for all logical coaches. If you're very logically minded, and you like control, you like to know what everyone's doing at what time, this will be a nightmare session for you. But if you're creative, or you're at least open to trying, then the kids will really enjoy it, guaranteed, because they get to be a bit free and innovative, and they'll come up with really cool stuff. And they'll probably be talking about it for ages. Like, remember that time when we made fortresses? It happens to us a lot with Brave Park, the kids. Remember when we made blackberry jam? So sometimes the best things that come out of our coaching is completely unplanned and informal, but it's really important to the kids, so that's when you can really get your points across in the informal time, and that applies to adults as well. So yeah, I hope you can see how that would work. Individually, if you're on a Zoom, if you're teaching kids by Zoom, you can say to them, okay guys, let's make a fortress in 2 minutes, and then they could work on their presentation skills, or if you're teaching a different language, they could practice talking about it in Spanish or French or German or whatever they're learning. So you can apply it to cross-curricular subjects. I'm sure you can find ways of bringing in maths and science and whatever you want to bring in. If it's a group game, then you can help them work on teamwork. Kids really, in my experience, love making a den together. It's something we do at Brave, and I did with my previous charities in England, Mojo and Urban Shoot. Most kids enjoy making a den in the forest. It's quite nice, like green space and relaxation for them. And it's not competitive, so that's quite good for kids sometimes to not have the pressure. So yeah, just some ideas. If you do have access to forest school or a forest, this is much better in a forest, because you get the added relaxation. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Now we're going to be doing the physical challenge. Okay, so I'm going to be using my giant gym ball again. They cost about €5, so we're going to use that, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. Welcome to our kitchen. Actually doing some bread making whilst filming. This guy does not know how to chill. So, finished bread baking. So the way we're going to clear up, if you're with kids, this is one of the coaching world's best kept secrets. Do not tell any kids this. All kids cover their ears if you're watching. If you want to clear up your field, there are 2 ways, which most teachers will know. Make sure no kids are listening. Either competition, who can pick up the most cones, works every time. Or, if they think they're smarter than that. It's called Magic Mess. I learnt it from a teacher, a very good teacher in Putawaki School in New Zealand. Hi to them. One of the best schools I've ever been to, a Maori school. I used to teach PE at. Magic Mess is the cleverest game ever to pick up the cones. As a teacher, you think of one thing, so I would look at here, and the magic thing is going to be my frisbee. You don't tell the kids what it is, and in fact you can change it. That's the secret too. Then the kids spend an hour picking up every single thing, and whoever gets the magic mess is the winner. Okay, the magic mess is always the last thing to be picked up, and then you're like, oh, the winner was, and it works every time. But this is a trade secret. If there's any kids watching, do not let them hear this, because otherwise it won't work, and we'll have messy fields and I'll have to spend hours picking up cones. Okay, so I would have got the kids to pick this all up. Okay, so I'm going to put my ball inside my lovely fortress. Okay, and we're going to kind of link it with the warm-up that we did with colours. Again, sorry to anyone colourblind, this session might be slightly lost on. So what we're going to do is a test for your core stability. So Goose is going to say a colour, or roll a dice with a colour, whichever is more comfortable for you, Goose. Or you can point to things. Okay, and I have got to, with this smiley ball here, I've got to try and touch that colour with this ball. So for example, if it was green, okay, do you see how the counterbalance there? If you've done surfing or stand-up paddleboarding, you'll know like about the counterbalance, or if you're a physicist. Okay, ready? Let's go.
Red.
Come on. Yeah. I could have just touched it on my t-shirt. Okay, yeah.
Yellow. Green. Blue. White.
I'm just giving my quads a break. White. For Chile.
Yellow.
Ah.
Purple. Brown.
Oh, nice. Okay, so mix up which muscles you're working. Yeah.
Orange.
And you can also swap hands, left hand, ambidextrous.
Black. Yellow. Rosado.
Again, good for language teaching, this one.
White.
Yeah,
No, you already used that one.
it's alright, but it doesn't matter if we repeat, because it's for my core, not my
Green.
brain.
Orange. Yellow.
Yeah, that's good for you. Speed it up.
Blue. Green. Red. Rojo. Rot. Orange.
Rouge.
Gelb. Green. Verde. Groen.
Oh,
Blue. Gelb. Blauw. Red. Yellow. Blue.
Okay, last one I'm going to go many things. Use some of Ellen's Estonian, please.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Red.
This is the hardest one, I think.
Oh, game over.
Okay, thanks so much for watching. I'll just quickly check we've done everything. So what I'll do now is fill these in with all the innovation we did. When I say we, I. But let's feel like a team. So fun warm-up was the innovation where we got the kids to make their... Oh no, sorry, the fun warm-up was the colour game. And then, again, it's really important you let the kids think, and the kids let them be free. because they'll make their own warm-up and they'll do dynamic movements, and they'll also be happier if they're free. Free range kids! Okay. Then individual game, group game, again they're normally tied together. See if I can... So these two normally together, see? Physical challenge was the colours game, which I think I'll refilm much to Goose's delight to put on the Brave site in case anyone needs a good core challenge for Friday. Action for the goal, oh this is important. So I actually completely plagiarised Clara's ideas here. So Clara did a session, you might have seen it on Wednesday, and she's a lot more knowledgeable about the global goals than me because she worked for the world's largest lesson, I think. And these are her suggestions for how we can all implement Global Goal 9. So a hackathon, invent something new, so use your creativity to invent a new product if you feel like there's a niche market. So you may have seen I created a solution to hugs in COVID, and I hope it's going to make me into a billionaire because it's inspired by an elephant's trunk. So I've invented, it's not yet been patented, but it's like an elephant's trunk that enables you to hug but not spread COVID. So I'm looking forward to going on Dragon's Den to explain my elephant trunk idea. Then solar panels Clara's put, so I guess that's all toward, going towards like industry, infrastructure and innovation, like more renewable energy. She said reduce our water and CO2 footprints, and infrastructure, and use public transport more. So for example, I know for example in Edinburgh in Scotland, they made this amazing new tram system to get from the airport to the city. So like a little thing you could do would be to use it rather than being like, well, I'm going to drive my car anyway. So like using public transport, obviously if you use it, then it makes it it's kind of down to the consumer. They have a lot of power. If everyone boycotts the metro, then the metro companies won't be successful and people won't invest in public transport. Whereas if everyone decides to use public transport, investors will come in and it'll be worthwhile for them to innovate and improve the infrastructure and the industry. Okay, so those are some things you can do, and I just would challenge you this weekend as your action for the goal to get creative. So when you're in the pub or a bar, if you're in the UK, no one's in the pub or a bar. If you're on a picnic, a socially distanced picnic this weekend, or a socially distanced barbecue, then why not challenge your friends to think of innovative ideas for Global Goal 9? I mean, it's a great conversation starter. So yeah, just try and innovate, and if you have thought of a product, rather than just thinking about it, write it down, draw a nice picture and share it, and you never know, it might change the world. So those are your actions for the goals. The cameraman is quite literally falling asleep here, so I'm going to wrap up the session. And yeah, thanks so much for joining me and for your patience with my creativity. And I think, so I'm back on Monday for the Spanish session, and then again Wednesday and Friday for the Global Goals session, where we'll be doing Número 10 y Número 11. So yeah, looking forward to them, and I hope you are too. Have a lovely weekend. Thank you.